All that I have is yours. The story of the prodigal son is a very popular Bible story told by Jesus himself. But see, the Lord opened my eyes to see beyond the redemptive attribute of God as our Father, as we have been mostly taught, to see how we can own an identity that confers authority. You see, the lesson that we were taught laid more emphasis on the prodigal son, the servant in a faraway country that suddenly realized that he is a son. But nobody seemed to talk about the servant in his father's house that didn't know that he was a son. He was a son with the servant's mindset. How? When he spoke to his father with bitterness that you celebrate the return of your renegade son with a fat cow, but me that have served you loyally and faithfully, you have never for once told me to take this small goat and celebrate with my friends. And the father's response was, you are always with me. All that I have is yours. Meaning, if the father wakes up hearing noises and asks what this noise is all about, and they tell him, is your son feasting with his friends, that he would rather beg them to reduce the noise that he wants to sleep and not stop the feast. Don't you know that all that I have is yours? Don't confuse yourself for a servant. You are what I am, my son. You see, the proof of sonship is the right to an inheritance, and that right is only enforceable when there's a conviction of an identity, which in law is based off of a written will. So what is written builds the conviction of my identity. So the question now is, why do I have to beg for something that is already mine? Why do I have to cry for something that is written already? Wait, could it be that the content of my prayer is a reflection of the strength of my conviction about my identity as a son? In my opinion, if the Lord needs to see me suffering and see me in tears to be compelled to step in, then I'm very sorry to say this, that he might be an excellent God, but he's definitely a terrible father. But that's not what is written, is it? Jesus and the Pharisees were in agreement with the revelation of Adonai as God. What made them crucify Jesus was his claim, which was his core message, that Adonai is also Father, and a good father at that. Remember that the father didn't eventually order the servants to kill the goat for his elder son and his friends. He gave no such orders. Instead, he simply said, don't you know that all that I have is yours? And that alone was sufficient. Meaning, why do you think that you have to beg me? You are seated with me. Why don't you just order the servants yourself? You see, the Lord will not make a move that truncates your capacity to exercise your authority. With this insight, who amongst these two sons was conferred authority? Was it the one that the father ordered the servant to make a feast for, or the one that he said to, all that I have is yours? You see, we're never told to cry to God. Jesus instructed us to speak to the mountain. All that I have is yours. You are all that I am. God bless you.